Today, we're taking a trip to the courts, the streets, and the drama of Above the Rim, a film that mixed basketball, ambition, and the harsh realities of life in the 90s. Kyle Lee Watson, played by 29-year-old Duane Martin, was the kind of baller every hood had. Raw talent, killer skills, and just enough attitude to make you love him and hate him at the same time. On the court, he was unstoppable. Smooth jumper, crazy handles, always ready to show out. But off the court, Kyle was hot-headed, quick to snap, and carried a chip on his shoulder that went way beyond basketball. See, Kyle wasn't just hooping to win games, he was hooping to escape. Raised by his mom, with no father figure around, those daddy issues showed up in the way he moved. He wanted to prove himself, not just to coaches and scouts, but to the world. That anger, that fire, it fueled him, but it also made him reckless at times. So many kids could see themselves in Kyle, that mix of talent, pain, and ambition all bottled up in one. And Duane Martin sold it. At 29, he played the role with so much energy, you believed every dunk, every heated argument, every side eye. Duane himself was a legit baller before acting, which is why those court scenes felt so authentic. And while Above the Rim was his shining moment in film, he went on to leave his mark in White Men Can't Jump, The Inkwell, and TV shows like All of Us. Today, at 60, he's still respected for giving us Kyle, the kid who had the skills to fly high, but the weight of life trying to drag him down. Birdie, played by Tupac Shakur at just 23 years old, was the streets in every sense of the word. Don't let his small size fool you. This man carried weight everywhere he went. He had the money, the fame, the women, and the swagger that came with living life on the edge. On the surface, he was a basketball agent, but behind the scenes, he was knee-deep in dirty money, hustling his way through the game. Birdie had everything Kyle thought he wanted. The flash, the respect, the fast life. And when Birdie tried to sign Kyle, it wasn't just business, it was temptation. Kyle was hesitant because he knew the cost, but Birdie made that street life look like it was the only way to win. That's what made him so dangerous. At the time, Tupac had already proven himself as a powerhouse actor, giving us that unforgettable villain in Juice just 2 years earlier. With Birdie, he doubled down, showing us a character who was charming one second and terrifying the next. And though Pac's acting career was short, the impact was massive. Just 3 years after Above the Rim, he was gone, murdered in 1996 at only 25 years old. But by then, he was already a legend, not just in music, but in film too. Birdie remains one of those roles that reminds us of his range, his raw energy, and the brilliance we lost too soon. Shep, played by Leon Robinson, was Birdie's brother, but the two couldn't have been more different. Birdie was loud, flashy, and all about the streets, while Shep was quiet, broken, and haunted by tragedy. Back in the day, Shep was a real baller. Don't get it twisted, he had next-level talent, the kind of player everyone thought would go pro. But one night changed everything. He and his best friend were hooping in an abandoned building when his boy went up for a dunk. The wall collapsed, and he fell to his death. That moment crushed Shep's spirit. He dropped the game completely and walked away, carrying that guilt for years. By the time we see him in Above the Rim, Shep is working as a security guard, trying to keep his head down while his brother Birdie is out running the streets. And to stir the pot even more, Shep was dating Kyle's mom, which definitely added another layer of tension between him and Kyle. But what makes Shep unforgettable is that redemption moment. After years of hiding from the game, he shows up in the final scene and dominates, reminding everyone he was always the real deal. Leon Robinson brought such depth to the role, showing pain, regret, and strength all in one. And today at 63, he's still respected and admired, not just for Above the Rim, but for the legacy of roles he's given us across film and music. Motaw, played by Wood Harris, was Birdie's right-hand man and the definition of loyalty in Above the Rim. He wasn't just hanging around the edges, he was the enforcer, the muscle, the guy who made sure Birdie's word was law. On the surface, he had everything. The money, the swagger, the women, and the power that came with being Birdie's closest ally. But underneath all that, Motaw was hot-headed, and that anger was always waiting to spill over. We saw it clearly in the end. After losing a simple game of basketball, Motaw pulled out a gun, not out of strength, but out of weakness. It showed that for all his toughness, he and Birdie couldn't handle the one thing they feared most: losing. That moment revealed just how fragile his world really was. What makes his role even more powerful is that this was Wood Harris's film debut. At just 25 years old, he stepped onto the screen and immediately felt like he belonged there. That raw presence and intensity would later grow into legendary roles: Avon Barksdale in The Wire and Ace in Paid in Full. Today, at 55, Wood Harris is still respected in the culture, still showing up in major projects, and still proving that he's one of the most versatile actors of his generation. But for many fans, he'll always be Motah, the man whose pride, loyalty, and anger made him unforgettable, even if his downfall showed just how weak that life could really be. Up next is Flip, played by the one and only Bernie Mac. Flip wasn't just some throwaway character, he was a man who once had it and lost it all. When Kyle meets him, he's tattered, homeless, and worn down by life. But if you listen to the way he talks and the way he carries himself, you can tell he wasn't always like that. Flip used to be somebody. He used to hoop with Shep back in the day, and on those courts, he mattered. Life, though, can be cruel. Somewhere along the line, his path took a turn, and instead of bright lights and packed gyms, Flip ended up with nothing but his memories. Still, he wasn't completely broken. That fire was still in him. When he challenges Kyle to a one-on-one, you see it. The old man still had some skills, still had some pride. For a moment, he wasn't just a homeless man, he was a baller again. But when Kyle outshined him, you felt the weight of it, like watching a reminder of time passing him by. Bernie Mac brought so much humanity to this role. He was 37 at the time, already making people laugh as one of the sharpest stand-up comedians in the game, with films like Life under his belt. But in Above the Rim, he gave us something different. He showed us the brokenness, the sadness, and the dignity of a man the world had forgotten. After this, Bernie's star only got bigger. He went on to lead The Bernie Mac Show, star in hit movies, and become one of the most beloved comedians of his era. But in 2008, life cut him short at just 50 years old. His passing left a hole in comedy, in culture, and in the hearts of everyone who loved him. Rest easy, Bernie. You made us laugh, you made us cry, and you made Flip unforgettable. Bug, played by 22-year-old Marlon Wayans, felt like that one homie we all knew growing up. He was Kyle's friend, always down to ride, always cracking jokes, but he wasn't just there to be funny. Bug could hoop too, and for a moment you could see he had the same shot at doing something better with his life. But life don't always play fair. He'd just come home from prison, trying to shake that past off his back, but the streets don't let go that easy. You could feel it. That pull, that darkness always lurking, waiting to drag him back in. And that's what made Bug real. He wasn't just a side character. He was a reminder of how quick a dream could get snatched away. Marlon Wayans gave him that energy, that charm. You could laugh with him, but you could also feel for him. Because deep down, Bug was that dude who just needed one clean break, one shot to get it right. Marlon was only 22 back then, still at the start of what would become a legendary career. And now at 53, after giving us classics like Scary Movie, White Chicks, and even showing his dramatic chops in Requiem for a Dream, he's proven he's more than just the funny guy. But for the ones who grew up on Above the Rim, Bug will always be remembered as that loyal friend who had the heart, the talent, but just couldn't outrun the weight of the streets. Malika Watson, played by Tanya Pinkkins, was the definition of a strong black mother. She was a single mom doing everything she could to keep her son Kyle on the right path. Always working hard, always sacrificing, carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders just to provide for him. And if you know anything about black mothers, you know that struggle is real. Balancing the bills, the long hours, and still trying to keep a hot-headed teenage boy in check. Kyle wasn't easy. His temper, his attitude, his defiance, it wore on her. She wanted the best for him, wanted him to see beyond the streets and the game, but sometimes the fights felt endless. That slap she gave him? Man, that took me back. Reminded me of how my own mama slapped the black out of me when I got slick with the mouth. It was discipline mixed with love, the kind only a mother could give. Tanya Pinkkins captured that reality perfectly. At just 32 when she played Malika, she brought the strength, the pain, and the love that so many women like her carried. And today, at 63, Tanya is still going strong as an actress, director, and activist. For many, she'll always be remembered as Malika, the single mother who fought for her son, even when it wasn't easy, embodying the struggles and resilience of countless black women who had to do it all on their own. Starnes, played by Henry Simmons, was Kyle's teammate and the voice of reason on the court. While Kyle strutted around full of confidence and ego, Starnes was the guy quietly shaking his head, fed up with all the cockiness and attitude. He didn't need to be flashy or loud to make his point. His presence alone said he wasn't here to play games with anyone's ego. Henry Simmons brought a grounded, relatable energy to Starnes, showing that sometimes the smartest player isn't the one with the most points, but the one who keeps the team in check. He was 24 at the time, and though his role in Above the Rim was small, it was memorable. He represented the teammate who stayed focused, worked hard, and didn't let anyone's arrogance disrupt the flow. Since then, Henry Simmons has gone on to build a steady career in film and TV, proving his versatility and keeping that same authenticity he showed as Starnes. Today, he's still respected in the culture, and for many fans, Starnes remains the guy who reminded us that talent isn't everything. Discipline, respect, and teamwork matter just as much. And finally, we have Bobby, played by Sean Michael Howard. He was Kyle's boy, the kind of friend who didn't need to be loud to matter. While Kyle was hot-headed and always in his feelings, Bobby stayed cool, steady, and grounded. He was on the basketball team too, but he wasn't out here chasing the spotlight. He was just that loyal friend who kept the balance, the type everybody needs in their corner. Sean Michael Howard was only 25 when he brought Bobby to life, and he nailed that vibe of the quiet homie who doesn't say much, but you know he's solid. Now 56, he's still moving in the industry. And for a lot of us, he'll always be Bobby, the chill one in the crew, the reminder that sometimes the realest people are the ones who don't have to say a word. And that's a wrap on our journey through Above the Rim. Which character or moment still sticks with you after all these years? Drop it in the comments below. We want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and as always, this is The Silent Gossiper, keeping the classics alive, one story at a time. See you soon.